Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chats. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong live for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you had a great long weekend. Well, maybe you didn't. Maybe you weren't in places or spaces that had a long weekend. But if you were, I hope you had a good one. I certainly did. Sitting around the pool, chilling out. Morning to those up and at it already. A few of the early birds already on. Morning, Kevin. Good to see you, mate. You're always here. That's awesome. Luke's in the house as well. Morning, mate. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. While things are getting warmed up a little, we'll do the intros and then we'll get on with today's conversation. If those who are here don't already know, well, my name's Jason Witten. You might already know that, which is good. But if you're new, say hello in the chat. Give us a shout out. Let us know where you are in the world. Sometimes we have people coming in from all over the place. Kevin's all the way from Lakeland in Florida. Got a few clients around the world who buy Aussie real estate, which is awesome. If that's you, or even if you're new, then say hello in the chat. It'd be great to hear from you. We do these little Wealth Coffee Chats every morning, weekday morning, around about 10 past 8. Usually having a conversation, a pontification, a Wealth Coffee Chat about the world of property investing and going the distance, making sure we can, stay on track, because this property thing is a medium to long-term gig, folks. It is not get rich quick. Certainly I have not seen a get rich quick from residential buy and hold property investing. Probably the last few years, actually, last 3 or 4 years has been the fastest capital growth I've ever seen, which is good news. But there you go. Nintendo's in the house as well. Morning, Sonia. Hey, great to see you. Great to have you on the live this morning. Thanks for joining us. Hey, today I thought we might talk a little bit about the predictions, the growth. Who would be up for 20% capital growth in the future, folks? Well, pick me. I'd be up for that. I don't know about you, but sounds like a plan. Sounds like something worth having a look at. And, there's some conversations around the growth that might be coming for us all. And, if you're not already, you'd like a good idea to be in place. Hey, morning, James. Good to see you. But some of the latest data and information popping out is quite interesting to have a look at. New apartment prices declined by 23% by 2026. Now, you and me know that the old world of apartment prices have been getting some extra momentum at this moment in time in the marketplace, predominantly because, prediction for Melbourne. We'll get on to Melbourne at another Wealth Coffee chat for sure, Charbel. But my call is Melbourne's got a little bit of softness in it for the next year or so, and then going to make up plenty of ground as at the moment Melbourne is one of the cheapest places in Australia to buy a house. And you might not think that. The median house price in Melbourne is lower than Adelaide, lower than Hobart, for crying out loud. And that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, there's some things that we all need to be aware of what's going on, right? So unit prices to grow at a pretty significant rate. So too will house prices, that's for sure. But what's pushing along this? What's pushing along this growth? We've had some significant growth in the last few years, folks. But what's going to continue to push this growth along? Well, the gap, if you haven't seen or haven't noticed, the gap between house prices and units is still pretty significant. Falls a little bit now. The house prices certainly took off in COVID times. The apartment prices did not grow as fast because the supply chain in that space was still pretty good, where the house price and supply chain was a bit lower. But the idea that we as property investors might want to get a little piece of this action in the future. What types of properties can we buy and how can we buy them? How can we be positioned to gather wealth in this way into the future? Well, there's a few little techniques and strategies that we'll talk about in a minute. Also, rents to grow as well. The challenge for us all, folks, what's the challenge right now in the market? Chuck it in the chat if you want to play along. But the challenge for us is unlocking our ability to borrow, right? Unlocking our ability to borrow. And the types of properties that we might want to purchase and have a look at, the growth profile of those properties is a little different. Now, in the world of apartment buying, has the three types of apartments that are kind of common. You got your one better, right? You got your one better, you got your two better, and you got your three better. Now, for those who understand the mechanisms of supply in the world of, absolutely, Nintendo servicing, the ability to borrow and service lending. Now, I'm going to talk about a little strategy here in a minute, so stick around about how we can potentially navigate that servicing issue and land with a style of property that we might like. Now, you can see here with CBRE research, the prediction is growth, more growth in the 3-bed section compared to the 2-bed section. And 2-bed's not too bad. The 1-bedders, right? Just check out the pricing of the 1-bedders, right? This is where some madness comes in. Anyway, affordability servicing is going to hold a bit of that pricing back, right? So, talk to me. Chuck it in the chat. Why do you think that 3-bedroom apartments are going to grow? They're going to grow faster in the next 3 to 5 years, even 5 to 10 years, folks. 5 to 10 years. 3-bed apartments are going to grow faster and stronger in the next 3 to 5 years. Put it in the chat for me if you think you know what that might be. The 2-beddies will do all right as well. There won't be a big deal. Not going to be the end of the world for the 2-beddies or the 1-bedroom. Like, let's face it. At the end of the day, each of the property types will have some growth. Absolutely. Houses are out of reach for a lot of people. But arguably, Nintendo, right, when we have a look at this, right, so the unit house gap is between sort of 40 and 45% on average. So the houses are sort of 40% more expensive. But if you were, let's say you're a $2.5 million buyer, arguably you've probably got some choice, a house or an apartment, right? As we go along. But the thing with apartments, certainly the 3-bed land of apartment world, those locations are pretty sweet. If we look at this photo at the front here, I mean, who wouldn't like to live, like that when it comes to apartment? Who is living like this? Who wants to? Yep, absolutely. Yep, the right sizes. You're dead right, Luke. The right sizes slash downsizes slash retirees. And I've spoken, and to be honest, I, some of these things these days, like it goes, all right, well, I might even be one of them right now, where I'm looking at right sizing my lifestyle when it comes to the world of living, and say, okay, I want to do more travel. I want to have less complications in my world. What type of lifestyle do I want to live? And I live. I don't know if anyone can see here, but I live on a damn acre of land, and there's friggin' trees and grass and crap everywhere, and 2 houses and pool house and all sorts of stuff. And I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm very grateful for where I live and what I have. But I tell you what, some bloody maintenance in this bastard of a place, right? So is that an easy place to live for my future? So I'm 52 now. Don't tell anyone. My wife and I, 2 of our kids are out of home, and the third one's just sort of hanging in there. But what's the lifestyle that we want to live? Well, the lifestyle that we want to live is probably a little bit different to the lifestyle that we've lived for the last 10 years. This is the kind of lifestyle we'd love to live, right? A little bit less complication, and a lot easier. Lock up the house, lock up the apartment, jump in the car, go to the airport. Not even have a car. Let's face it. Grab an Uber, go to the airport, and chuff off for a holiday anywhere we like, and we can work from wherever we like. That's the kind of lifestyle we live, right? Or want to live. So the downsizers, the right sizes, are paying a premium for these lock-up lifestyles in fantastic locations. Absolutely no-brainer, folks. No-brainer, right? Some of the challenges we have as investors right now to get hold of, these types of opportunities and other opportunities as well, is we've got some borrowing issues, like Nintendo was saying there before, some servicing issues, right? The ability for us to unlock our borrowing is a bit of a challenge. And, those who can unlock the borrowing are down here, the $200,000 to $500,000 income mark. All right. So those on higher incomes are unlocking these opportunities. And, why is that? Because, if you have a look here, this last, since sort of, late 22, the ability for us to borrow, the total servicing rate has gone up pretty significantly, like 40 or 50% in comparison to where our total borrowing calculation was 7. Now it's almost 12, right? 12%, 7 to 12, right? One of the things that I think could happen very quickly is if the government was really, truly, if they were really, truly focusing on borrowing ability and people to be able to lend, don't get up the damn RBA. Go and knock APRA around the head and change the stupid rules that you enforced in 2017 and 18, government. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole today. So the ability for us to borrow, folks, has reduced. How is that going to unlock? Will that unlock? And it will unlock into the future. We do have some supply constraints. We've got some building and construction issues for the future we need to navigate. But what's the big question mark is this: how do we navigate into the future as we go along? And if we look into the future now, and we go right, let's go 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. All right. So this is 2027, 2026, 2025. Because let's face it, team. Let's face it. 24 is over. It's done. It's October, for crying out loud. All right. Okay. Well, now let's look at this. Let's look at some of these things. Now, for me, for you, there's a couple of different strategies we can use in the way we purchase properties, right? So, number one, how can you create value when you purchase a property? You can buy property at a discount. You can buy something with some value already baked in, right? You can buy a property you can add value to. You can build. We love the idea of buying land and building a house. The discount world, you can buy, many years ago pricing, or you can buy some properties that need to be sold. And third, a certain type of property is you buy time. We call it off the plan, right? So right now, I think for certain types of deals, off the plan's not a bad idea, right? Because if you have a look at the borrowing servicing, let's say this is sort of 12% here, and we want it to get down to sort of 8% in borrowing land, right? So what's going to happen is the ability to borrow, the servicing rate is going to go down, which means your ability to borrow money is going to go up, right? The ability to borrow money is going to go up. Now, if in here is the gap, the difference between what you can buy now and what you can buy later, how do we get to that section? How do we land this plane maybe with a good deal? And the idea then is maybe an off the plan deal, right? You put your deposit down now, and let's say you have 24 months where you only have to put your 10% deposit down. You don't have to finance between here. So maybe at this moment in time, it's a no-no, but over here, when you land, it's going to be, yes, you can do it, right? So some of the strategies, some of the techniques, some of the ideas when it comes to taking advantage of, some of this value here, especially with off the apartments, might be using the off the plan strategy as we go along to create some wealth and some bits and pieces. But whether you do off the plan strategy, whether you own some apartments now or houses, it's good to see that the marketplace is forecasting, predicting, looking at we're going to get some growth into the next couple of years. Now, I don't think that the supply chain is going to be unlocked anytime soon, folks. When it comes to oversupply, there's still plenty of people entering the country, and the government needs to continue to recruit and bring people in. So rents are going to grow as well, but probably not as fast. But there you go. Anyway, that's it from me today, folks. Good to have you here on the show, and join us again tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat. The team will be on, I think, on Wednesdays. We've got the property management team doing a Wealth Coffee Chat. So hopefully you can join us again tomorrow. All right, that's it from me, folks. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye for now.
Episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our